Today we're at the Battle of Buffington Island outside Little Portland, Ohio. This was also known as St. George's Creek Skirmish. It was the largest battle in Ohio during the Civil War. After Colonel John Hunt Morgan was unable to cross into West Virginia at Middleport, Ohio, he headed towards the next ford upstream at Buffington Island. Morgan found the ford blocked by several hundred local militia, ensconced behind hastily constructed earthworks. He allowed his men to camp for the night, as he was afraid that if he pushed aside the militia, he would lose additional men in the darkness as they tried to navigate the narrow ford. The U.S. Navy's Mississippi Squadron had also been sent to block Morgan. The USS Moose was tied up within earshot of the island the night before the battle. It was the flagship of the fleet commanded by Lieutenant Commander Leroy Fitch. When Fitch heard the first rifle fire, he had the Moose's boilers fired up and commenced firing his cannons at the island. The Allegheny Belle was a little further away, and when she heard Moose's cannons, she made steam and brought up Burnside's amphibious infantry. On the morning of July 19, 1863, a U.S. brigade under Henry M. Judah, he had 1,100 men, caught up with Morgan and attacked his position on the broad floodplain just north of Portland. As another column under Edward Hobson arrived. Early in the fighting, Major Daniel McCook, the patriarch of the Fighting McCooks, was mortally wounded. The USS Moose and the Allegheny Belle steamed into the narrow channel separating Buffington Island from Ohio and opened fire on Morgan's men. Soon a third gunboat joined them. Eliakim Scammon brought another 970 soldiers onto the field, but they were not actively engaged, so only 1,550 Federals were engaged with Morgan's men. Morgan then fled behind a rear guard and tried to fight northward along the floodplain, hoping to reach another ford. The converging U.S. forces then split Morgan's force, and 52 Confederates were killed, 100 wounded, and 700 captured. Morgan himself was halfway across the river when he saw U.S. gunboats come into view and would cut off the remainder of his men. So Morgan then wheeled his horse around and joined the rest of his men on the Ohio side to continue looking for a crossing.